In the autumn of 1872, young Billy Thompson, his mother Sarah, and his little brother set out on a long, uncertain journey. Their destination was Wichita, Kansas, a town that promised fresh starts and new hopes. After days of travel, the family arrived, weary but optimistic.
Ma'am, you and your boy look like you've had a long journey. If you need a place to rest, there's a little cabin just past the creek. It ain't much, but it's warm, and it's yours if you want it. My husband built it for his folks before they moved on. There's fresh water out back and a stove to keep warm. You're welcome to stay as long as you need.
Open the door, lady. We ain't got all night.
You see my boy here? He may be small, but he's watching, and he's learning what happens to men who don't belong.
Mama says I ain't supposed to play with guns, but I reckon I can make an exception.
And little wooden rifles just for show. Mine's got real bullets.
You know, every time you ride into town, I end up with a wagon full of dead bodies parked outside my door. Makes me wonder, are you here for the scenery or just to restock the graveyard? Thing is, one day, that wagon might just have your name on it. So tell me, we going to talk this out, or are you going to make me call the Undertaker again?
Well, Sheriff, if it wasn't for me, you'd be prying a young woman and her kids out of shallow graves right about now. You're lucky I happened to spot that gang heading toward the cabin. Question is, what were they after out there, Sheriff? Ain't much at that cabin except worn floorboards and cold stew, unless there's something worth killing for. So tell me, what's got outlaws risking lead for a quiet cabin in the woods?
Don't get clever with me, boy. You think a quick draw makes you untouchable? It doesn't. And you best keep quiet about my past. Not in this town, not anywhere. You start talking, and you'll find yourself wishing you hadn't. Your fancy shooting doesn't rattle me one bit. I've stared down tougher men, and outlasted every one of them.
One question lingered. Why had the gang come to that cabin? What secret did the sheriff and Miss Alma share? For Billy and his family, Wichita was no longer a place of promise. It had become a town of unanswered questions and unseen dangers. Join us next week for the next episode to uncover more secrets from Wichita's dark past. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss what happens next.